In part 1, most of the footage is from this angle because only by this angle you can see how I set up all this thing, all this equipment can be shown. This, and also the in front over there. I think now they are like backdrop, but before the backdrop is there, you can see also the projector and also the front cam. So that's the reason why I choose this angle. So this also under setting up the scene, the environment or the mood for the filming itself. It gives you the storyline. Okay, now I'm back near my demo table. As you can see now, we have this laptop, monitor, there are glassware over there, there are liquid here, there are equipment over there. Suddenly the table become full. The reason suddenly it become full is because the clip that you see previously is taken I don't know how many days before. So this kind of mix and match during the editing process. Talking about the filming itself, whatever you see in part 1 and part 2 is basically the selected clip, meaning that behind that selected clip there are many failed attempts. Take for example this footage during the in the morning of the live stream itself. I want to show to the audience that you need to come early, but to take that clip I need to repeat again and again and again. So as you see now. Okay, that's only one example, but I can say roughly all the clip that I did for part 1, part 2 or even part 3 is like that. So you need to repeat, I need to repeat again and again to get this desired footage lah. Sometimes during talking I lose track what I want to say. So just now you can see I froze myself during talking so that I can cut that frozen part and combine whatever before and after that, so that the audience will see the seamless continuity. So it's important to freeze yourself so that when you continue, when you freeze, you can think whatever you want to say, and then after everything is in your head, now you can continue like that. So that's give the illusion that everything is done in continuous way lah. So that's one way to filming also. This frozen thing, you cannot do it if you have the third party. For example, like student, I cannot say to the student, okay student, please froze. You cannot do that lah. For that case, you need to cut lah. You need to prolong. Normally, I prolong the discussion so that I can cut whatever I don't need. For example, this clip, when I want to test, test the OBS and also the zoom before the actual live stream. You can see this in part 1. They are quite not long. I mean, I have a class with this student before, but at the end of the class, I said to them that can we do some like footage for this video, whatever, and then they cooperate, and this is what actually happened. Saya akan suruh you testing, suruh you macam can you say something supaya saya nak suruh dia dengar. Okay, supaya nak tengok audio. So dia macam saya nak cakap dekat ni in the making tu, you kena test dulu before the real live stream supaya nak avoid any problem lah. Faham? Okay, so live stream. For example, now I have my student. Janganlah gelak, Amira. Aduh. To be with me and to test this internet. So can you say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. So you need to check in terms of audio and also whether they are frozen or not. So you need to also ask them whether they can see you lagging or not. So can you see me lagging?
No, you're not lagging.
Yeah, okay. Jangan skema sangat. Okay. So that's the important part lah. So apa ni saya cut. Waktu ni saya cut. Sekejap. So double check your internet connection with the real Zoom meeting. And this is actually what you see in part 1. To be with me and to test this internet. So can you say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. So you need to check in terms of audio and also whether they are frozen or not. So you need to also ask them whether they can see you
lagging or not. So can you see me lagging?
No, you're not lagging.
Yeah, okay. That's the important part lah. Double check your internet connection with the real Zoom meeting.
So you can see, you can always cut like that. That's actually filming. For me, filming is more like a lot of time is about cutting the scene, cutting the footage itself. You take many footage and then you cut, and then you edit, you combine here and there, and then you get a film. Yeah, so that's about the filming itself. As I said, they are scripting, they are filming, they are editing. So now we go to the last part, the editing part. Oh wait, before the editing, let me put this first. Before the editing part, let's look some of the example of the footage that I taken during the filming of part 1 and part 2. Okay, so you sort of like know what actually happened behind the scene. So that will wrap up the filming part, and after that I go straight to the editing, the last part of my workflow. Okay, so now we come to the last part of my workflow, which is the editing part. We need two things. First, I need the footage, which is the whatever we filmed before, and second, I need the editing software. I'm using the Premiere Pro. You might use a different software. Maybe you use Final Cut Pro if you are Mac user, or maybe you use something like Camtasia, Wondershare, Sony Vegas, or DaVinci Resolve, etc. Because there are many editing software, so whatever I discuss here now is more toward a generic workflow during the editing rather than the technicalities. Okay, where to start? Okay, first, after I'm done with the filming, I need to take a memory card, something like this, from this camera. And if I use a two camera, I need to take another memory card from that camera also. And if let's say I do the screen recording, I need to consider that there are another file inside my laptop. So as you can see, there are many footage, there are many files. So in no time, your laptop will full with all these things. So that's why I recommend, if you are doing video making, video filming or making, prepare this what we call the external hard disk. Maybe 1 terabyte is enough. So you dump everything from this what we call this memory card, put in this external hard disk, and then choose whatever you need to, whatever footage that good, transfer to your laptop, and then from the laptop go to your editing software. So that will save you a lot of space lah. And also you will also clear this memory card, because this memory card also can be quite full in no time when you filming. So the first thing, prepare this thing, the hard disk. And second thing, in order to prevent me from getting overwhelmed by like hundreds of footage from this memory card, I do my editing bit by bit, meaning that, let's say, even though I have this script, I just do filming for half of it, and then I stop, I take the memory card, and I transfer that into this my laptop, which one the footage that is useful. Then I edit, I do rough edit, meaning that I just find where it start, where it's end, and cut whatever I don't need, and that's it. And then I continue back the filming, and then continue maybe another half, and then I stop, and then I take the memory card again, put into the laptop, put inside this thing, select the best footage, and then transfer to my laptop, transfer to my editing software,
and then cut here and there which one that I need, which one I don't need, then combine with the previous one, and then the cycle repeat. By doing that, I will not be overwhelmed by like hundreds of what we call footage from all these cut. So this is Premiere Pro. If you are new to this, don't get intimidated. In fact, for how to live stream series, part 1, part 2, part 3, this is my first time using Premiere Pro as my main editing software. Previously, I'm using Camtasia, but I found that it's quite limited and can make my laptop hang. Normally during editing, there are 3 things that I do. First, to sync the video. Second, to cut the video. And third, to layer the video. What I mean by that is this. Okay, let's say I create a new file, new project. Okay, so let's say there are new project here. I put the name new project, and then I click OK. So they ask me to import the media to start. So before I import, let me show you first what I want to do. Okay, this is the clip that you see previously at the beginning of the video. Let me play for a while.
I need another.
So you see here, I in one angle from the camcorder, and then I move to another another angle from the GoPro. So I want to show you how I did that. So now let's say I have this thing. So this is the footage from the camcorder, this from the GoPro, this from my main camera. When I say my main camera, means that this camera. So I'll just drag it into this thing and then create a new sequence, because this one is the sequence that I currently editing. So I don't want to mess this one. So I just create a new sequence. So I create new sequence from the clip. So now we have a new new space, workspace here. So we know this is MTS, this is basically from my camcorder, and now this is from my GoPro. Okay, so and now here I drag, this is from my main camera. Normally I always put my main camera in the track number 1. So if you look here, V1, A1, so that is track number 1. A2, V2, that is track number 2. So V, video, A is audio. If I click here, they always pair, the video and the audio. The audio you can recognize by this, you can see this thing, this waveform. So that's the audio. So they always pair. Okay, so they always pair. So if I move, they still pair. Okay, so now I want to put this in track number 1, because why? Because normally I use the audio from this main camera. Okay, so that's always the reason lah. So I open this. Okay, this I also open that. Just drag it wherever you want. Okay, so this I want to drag here, and then maybe for the, so this is for the camcorder, and this is for the the GoPro. So what I did just now is to sort of like stack everything together. So you see now the GoPro on the top. So you will see the image here is from the top. If I click this eye icon, so you see the next image on the top is this camcorder. So I got the image from the camcorder. If I toggle this, not toggle, to click this eye, so you see the next layer is this, from my main camera. So that's the idea lah. So whatever on the top is always the video that is shown in this panel lah. Same with the audio, but the audio, if you don't do anything like this, if I just play,
Final test.
so you see the audio is jumbled up here and there. So if I mute the third audio, the second audio, so here you see the third, A3, A2, so you see much cleaner audio lah from one from one main camera. So now the idea now I want, first normally what I did is I want to sync everything in one go, in one so that everything is synced lah. Because if I do like this, if I put here, if I click run, you will see that the audio doesn't mesh with whatever you see in front of you. So that's why I will make it bigger, and then I make it even bigger, and then I make it even bigger, so make my life easier. So you just try to sync the audio. So you see this part and this part and this part look the same. So meaning that they are more or less the same thing. So I will bring it there, and then I make it bigger again, and then I take this, I sync that. Because remember, this track number 1, the V1 or A1, track number 1 is my main thing. Everything must be synced to this. So if you look here, they are like sharp, what we call sharp peak there. So that's basically my, what we call my clap. So yeah, you see clap, clap, clap. So that's why I do the clap before taking the multiple recording. So now this also the clap. So I bring it near, just bring it near, okay, like that. So this, bring it near, not yet, bring it near, bring it near, bring it near, okay, more or less. So now, okay, so we just fine tune it. Okay, let me put here, make it bigger. Okay, this, yep, oh, no. Okay, this, okay, not yet, not yet. Okay, so now if I try to play this, you can hear. So everything is in sync in terms of audio. Don't worry about the video because the audio, as I said before, the audio and the video always pair. So here, this number 2 is paired to this number 2. This number 1 pair with this number 1. This number 3 pair with number 3. So once you done that, then I can go back to here. So you know everything in sync lah. So let me make it smaller here first, because now I know it's sync in terms of audio, so I don't really care much about the audio anymore. So I just make it smaller, make it smaller, make it smaller, make it bigger, maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, so it's just your preference lah. Okay, so now we're done with that. Okay, so we're done with that. So you see where we start. So if you look here, let me mute this because it can be quite what we call quite noisy. So if you see here, this is one part, and then I go inside and then coming out, and then normally when I take the footage, is not the first one is not always the correct one lah, because I normally end up with many footage. For example here, I going in, coming out again, and then I'm going in, coming out again. So there are multiple footage, but normally the footage that I end up taking is the last one. Okay, so now this is the correct one, so I can just delete whatever happen here lah. So let's say I want to delete here, so I take the razor and then I cut. So that's why I said majority of what I did during the editing is cut. First to sync, you see how I sync the audio, and then the cut. So this basically what I do. I cut, just cut, delete, and then I just left with whatever usable. And then also the end, when I go into the lab, so I can cut here. So take the razor, cut, and then I just take this and I delete. So now this is the only usable thing lah that left. So let me make it bigger a little bit. Okay, so now this is the one that is usable lah. So now here, if you look here, I'm facing the main camera. So now I want to put this on top. This one, the video on top. So let me see until when, until I go into, okay. So here, until here I want the footage is from this camera, this main camera. My main camera here is here. So what I did is that I just cut here, and then I bring this on top like that. So now whatever footage now is from my main camera, and that's how you do it. And now after I coming out, you see I facing this camcorder. So I want my footage coming from this camcorder. So we know that camcorder is here, MTS here. So what I did is that okay, so here, so I cut and then I take this camcorder footage. MTS is camcorder for me. So I take this, I bring it up. Okay, I bring it up, and this maybe because this is what, yeah, this is until here lah. Okay, so now what happened now is that when I going inside, and then when I go out, you will see that the what we call the scene is changed lah. So here, if you can see that I'm showing, I am pointing to my main camera, and also the camera that the one that currently taking, this is from the camcorder. So this, in order to show this, I need to have another angle from my GoPro lah. My GoPro is somewhere around here. So I know the GoPro is somewhere, which one is my GoPro? This is my GoPro. So I just cut here and bring the GoPro up. So bring the GoPro up lah. So now you can see here, this is from the front of my main camera. This is from my camcorder camera, and this from my GoPro. So you can always change the scene by layering up. So whatever on the top is always take the priority lah. It will show the top image only. Regarding about the audio, because I only use this audio from the my main camera here. This is my main camera, so I just on this thing and mute the rest, and then I think you done lah. So okay, so that's how I did lah. So mostly it's about to sync, meaning that to get the audio correct first, and then to delete. As you see previously, I delete whatever in front, and then to layer. So there are three things: to sync the video, to cut the video, and to layer the video to create sort of like multiple footage. Okay, now we're done with the editing part. So basically that's conclude the entire series of how to live stream. In part 1, we discussed about how I set up this all audio visual equipment. In part 2 is about content preparation, how I prepare all this stuff on the table, and also the D-Day, I mean the what we call the live stream day itself. In part 3, the video that you watching now is basically about how I film that part 1 and part 2. What else to say? I hope this series is useful for some of you, especially for the instructor who are planning to do live stream, demo style live stream, or anyone who want to do this showcasing their product or online teaching, whatever. You can use the idea from this video, part 1, part 2 and part 3. Yeah, hopefully that will help some of you, and with that I think that's the end. Bye. So now I think enough for the yeah. So I think that's enough for the scripting. Let's go now for the filming itself. So where to start? How to start the filming? Let's go to the lab lah. I think that's enough for the script. You know that I'm scripting. I think that's enough for the script. Let's go for the filming itself now. How I film. So I think that's enough for the script.